The new Tekken 8 distribution is here, and there is a lot of drastic changes. Now, there's a few summarizations we can make just off the rip. The red rank, the first red rank is still, Garyu is still the quote-unquote average standard, but there's a massive upbringing right here at Mighty Ruler, and the reasoning behind this, now we're going to show percentages of how much everything increased and everything. We're going to break down everything. So when you see this red rank and then you see Mighty Ruler, there's only one thing to conclude, that Mighty Ruler now is going to become the new standard for quote-unquote average player, which is fucking insane, by the way, to think that you have to be Mighty Ruler just to be a average player in this game. So the ultimate conclusion is that, one, honeymoon phase has definitely been over, and two, the only motherfuckers that are playing this game are people that know how to play this game, including myself and you all. Only people that have really structured themselves to get to this red rank are now graduating to here, but it just means that there's lower populations playing this game now. Of course, when a new game comes out, especially new fighting games, they peak at massive viewership and concurrent players. And that's a good thing, right? Because people still know these games from way back in the day, back when I was born, 90s and all that stuff. And they have a huge spike, and then they go back down to its gradual levels to who actually was playing this. So if this was your first actual Tekken game and you actually got to red rank, you're probably still inspired to keep playing this game. Everybody else just has not, because I think up until like what, orange, you don't lose any points when you lose. So I think up until orange right here is like people that probably just get there and maybe give up at this point, because this kind of looks like your mainstream casuals, mainstream. I don't mean fighting game casuals. I mean mainstream casuals that are not really good at these types of games. It kind of just stops right here. And the reason being because you lose points around this segment in orange, especially in orange. There's some demons in orange, man. Like don't get that wrong. Don't let nobody try to make it twisted on you. Like don't try to scare off any mainstream people, man. Like people that had never really played fighting games, getting into oranges can get pretty, I don't know, gruesome really quickly. You know what I mean? So, but red rank is the average for now. Purple rank really on there, and Fujin. We're already to the point where this purple is definitely well on its way to be the average. Mighty Ruler is the average player where everybody's going to be hanging out at. But when that happens, I believe even a less portion amount of people are going to keep playing this game, because at that point it is very, very tough. I'm in purple ranks right now and it's tough there. I can get to blue if I sit down and put extra hours in per day, but I only play for so long on stream, and most of the time I'm just there to kind of vibe out. I don't go too crazy. I could see ourselves definitely getting around Tekken King for sure. And it's just crazy because if purple becomes a new standard for players to be deemed average, that's gonna fuck up a lot of people mentally. And new people, forget it. You'll never see a new person really. Like, it gets insane over here. Again, the only people that are playing Tekken right now are those that are either already vets, you know, like legacy players, or people that were like me, where this was our first ever Tekken, but we already kind of knew how to play fighting games. And also, like, we put in the work to understand like what it takes to actually adapt and all that. And we have proven analytics to actually battle people in blue ranks and stuff. So blue ranks right here, Fujin, Mighty Ruler, and the beginning. All the beginning ranks of those three are all going to be around like the average component now. Now, for now, if you're in these stats, you're still pretty much, and we're going to break that down right now. So let's go into like the actual increases of everything, right? So the actual increases of everything, you can see here that it was a 0.99% with red rank. So it's pretty much hasn't had too much change. It's in a negative state, so that means more people are actually graduating into these ranks now. So you can see 0.07 on that last one going in, and if you go into the last red rank, I'm pretty sure you're just going for that purple at that point. You're going crazy bonkers. Mighty Ruler has increased so much again, and Flame Ruler. So these two have really increased, and then you see like an even bigger increase in Battle Ruler. So I believe people who have been in this red rank are working their asses off, see one purple rank, and are like, fuck it, I'm just going for the last one. And at that point, it starts to cut off a little bit. Maybe people get there, they get demoted. I'm in one of those people right now who gets to like Flame Ruler, then I get up to battle, then I get like demoted again. I'm in this right here battle for that Fujin spot. Fujin has dramatically increased, which means purple people, if you made it purple early in Tekken, you were a fucking demon anyway. So you definitely have gotten to Fujin by this point. But the red rank again showing that it is the average for now, but Mighty Ruler is well on its way. It just really, again, it summarizes the fact that there's way less amount of players playing, and it's only people at this point who know how to play the fucking game at this point, if you're over here already. But yeah, shout out to the red rank being the standard, but I think purple rank is definitely going to be the standard now, especially like within the community, right? Community is really harsh with that shit, which why people in these ranks tend to like stop playing and get, I guess, demotivated, because you do have a pressure when you play these games. Like if you play these games, like people want you to play. Even me, like I play in purple ranks and I'm always whooping blue ranks asses too, and people still come through like and try to like, you know, bullshit what I'm trying to do. Like although we're credible, we're not pros, but we're credible. But yet I can understand why absolute beginners don't play this game anymore, because they're like, oh, red rank is the average. Well, if purple rank becomes the average now, forget it. That's going to be tough for a lot of people, but it's good for people that know how to play the game. If you're in my shoes, and I'm sure a lot of you are, this is beautiful for like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like we know how to play this game. We're going to get it rolling. You know what I mean? So we know we can get to Tekken King. At least if you get to these purple ranks fighting for blues, you're already in there for going to Tekken rank. It's just a matter of how much are you going to adapt, how much you're going to do a lot of stuff, how much defense, counters, all that stuff. Like who you're using too also counts. So yeah, you see the increase on that in the Fujin, which is super inspiring. And then it dips like crazy into the blue ranks, which I heard gets real demonic in those ranks. So that makes a lot of sense. So let's go into the full visual chart now. Like based on all I said, there's stats, there's analytics here. I'm not a fucking trust me bro source. The only thing I can really conclude about it is that the player base has gotten drastically smaller, which is true. I've shared multiple videos on that as to why. I also shared a lot of community posts of why people, or why fighting games don't go mainstream, or why absolute beginners do not play this game and they shy away from it now. Let's get into the final visual. So in this visual right here, you can see obviously like beginner, all this, you don't lose points. You see it all the way through to yellow. You don't really lose points. Then you get into the orange ranks where you start losing points. And so if you're in an orange rank, you're what? It says 76%. So you're the top that. Then you go into red rank, you're the top 63% of players. So basically what, 40, you're higher than 47% of people, I guess you can say. And then you get into, is that how it goes? I think that's how it goes. And then you go into Mighty Ruler right here, which is you're the top 40% of players. So top 63%, top 40%. So 63% is actually massive, because it's way more than halfway now, right? If you're, the halfway mark has moved up one slot for the most part, which is the second red rank. 52%. So it used to be right here, the red, but I guess everybody in red has been fighting for their fucking lives, because again, it's respectable to be in red, bro. It's tough as shit. Going into 50, not bad. Now right here is the 40%. You passed the halfway mark, but it's already there to the halfway mark of Mighty Ruler. So Mighty Ruler will be pretty soon, at least for the players that are still currently playing. Again, psychopaths like myself that still grind this game really hard. This is going to be the new standard. Then you go into right here where Fujin is at 20%. So at this component of Fujin, you're at the top 20%. You're getting into like the drop from Fujin to Raijin is crazy, because you're almost going into a top 10% at that point. So it shows that Fujin is very common. Mighty might be the new standard. Fujin might be the next like Mighty Ruler basically, and then you drop drastically. Then at that point, everybody just shuts the fuck up and play the game. You know, like at this point, you're pretty just credible and you're getting into pro levels at this point, which is a huge drastic change. I think that's how it might remain. I believe people really get hard stuck in Fujin. I've seen it all the time, a lot of my friends too. And I'm around this area right here, so I can only understand people get hard stuck in Fujin. Like get up to Raijin, get demoted a lot. Demons start hanging out over here. And at this point, when you're Raijin, you start going against like Tekken Kings, or if you do quick play, you're going against like Emperors and all that stuff like that. So pretty good stuff visually showing us the increase of that. One simple thing is that players have gotten better that have stuck to the game, and that's always a good thing. But it also shows that based on Steam numbers, based on just overall console numbers, and based on Twitch viewership, less people are playing this game, and the people that are only playing this game are fighting game players themselves, which we are very competitive no matter how casual we are. So that shows that a lot smaller of a niche, battling it out and going to war, survival of the fittest. And mainstream casuals are probably up here, but they pretty much probably don't play as much after maybe Orange. They don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, I made tons of videos on that stuff too. So just explaining why maybe people shy away from these games. Insane, by the way. But I really did appreciate these because this is not a fucking trust me bro source. Like, this is cool to see, to kind of help yourself out and to help myself out, you know, like, oh man, it's motivating. No matter how much people try to shit talk you, at least you're, you know, can be in the top 30%. You know, you're in the top 25% of gamers or players that play Tekken 8. You're the top 20%, which is huge. It's a very small community. So if you're ahead of a lot of that spectrum, good stuff for you, man. Great motivation. And also use it to inspire others, like beginners. Let them know that this game is tough. If you've made it to blue rank, let them know. Let fucking absolute beginners know, like, this game is fucking tough. So yeah, that's what like we use our platform for. But y'all let me know what's up. What ranks are y'all? Does this motivate you? Does this, you know, kind of just really break it down in more sense? For me, it opens my mind up to be way nicer to myself and to don't mind the learning process and be patient. But it also helps me just enjoy the fuck out of this game, because this game is incredible, man. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Peace.